Hello and welcome to today's class. We're going to explain the present perfect, its structure and use. So what exactly is the verbal tense? What exactly is a present perfect? Here are some examples of the structure known as present perfect. She has studied a lot. I have painted my room. We have done some exams this year. This is the best film I have ever seen. Obviously, you know the structure. It has an auxiliary, have or has, and then the verb is a past participle. What does it mean? If it is a regular verb, as in the two first sentences, you will use ed as the ending. If it is an irregular verb, you will use the third, the form, verbal form in the third column in the list of irregular verbs. Now let's take a closer look to structure. First of all, as we have seen, a past participle is adding ed to the verb if the verb is regular, or using the third column in the list if it is irregular. Okay, so we're going to distinguish two different structures. Once we have explained what a past participle is, one for I, we, you, they, and the other one for he, she, it. So what is the difference? Well, as you have seen in the previous slide, we're going to use have as the auxiliary verb. So depending on what kind of subject you will have to use have for I, we, you, they, or has if you have he, she, it as the subject, right? What happens with the negative? So we use the same auxiliary but with a not. Haven't in the negative, hasn't for he, she, it. And then in the interrogative, the exact same way. You use the same auxiliary, but this time you put it before the subject. You know that there's a subject-verb inversion when you do the interrogative form. As for answers, yes, no answers, as you know, are replied with the same auxiliary we ask. So, what is the use of the present simple or the present perfect? When do we use the present perfect? Basically, and as a rule of thumb, we can say that present perfect are past actions that have some connection with the present, right? So, for example, if we finish a class Friday and I go to the hairdresser and I decide to dye my hair purple, for example, or bright green, I have two options before I go to school on Monday. The first one is dyeing it back to my color. So when I arrive to class on Monday, you won't see the difference. But I can tell you I dyed my hair green last Friday. The action of dyeing my hair green happened on Friday, but there is no actual connection with the present, as the results of that action have been dyed on with my regular color. But if I go to school and my hair is bright green, you can see the results. So you can say, Sonia, what have you done to your hair? Well, I have dyed it green, right? Because the results, there is a connection between the action that happened in the past on Friday with the present on Monday, where you can see actually the results. So basically, once that explained, there are 5 specific instances where we use the present perfect. First, actions that have happened from the past until now, okay? Is that a present continuous? No, because it's not an action that it's developing. It's an action that I have done up to this moment. For example, I have lived in Alcoy for 3 years. Second instance, actions we have done in our life where we don't give an exact date. These meaning that I can repeat the action, okay, that the period where I have done the action, that is my life, has not ended. For example, we have done a lot of exams. I have been to London. Third use, when we speak of unfinished time periods, I was talking about my life in instance 2, they are very quite close. For example, if I'm speaking of this term, my life would be an unfinished time period, of course, but if I'm speaking about this term, the term we are in that has not finished, I will say I have done a lot of exams this term. If I refer to the last term that is finished, then I will use a past simple, because then there's no connection with the present. Past actions that are still important now. That is, past actions that have a connection or a result in the present. Remember the dyeing my hair green? So that would be a past action that is important now, right? Or for example, I can get inside my house, I have lost my key, right? The result of losing my key is still affecting me, right, in the present. So fifth instance, when we talk about the times we have done something, I was speaking in number 2 and number 3 about my life that is an unfinished period. So then number 5 also refers to an unfinished period, because actually if I'm speaking about the times I've done something, I'm speaking about the times I have done something during my life, which is unfortunately an unfinished time period. So I will use the past perfect, the present perfect. It's the first time I have flown by a plane. It's the second time I have watched this film. Okay, so basically we're going to do now a little bit of practice, focusing mainly in the structure and the 5 instances of use we have explained. So here you are, 10 sentences. You have to write the verb in brackets in the present perfect and try and place them in one of the 5 uses we have explained in the previous slide. So I hope this helped. See you in class. Bye.